I'm Eric Hatfield, and I'm running for the office of Caddo Parish Sheriff. I'm a lifelong resident of Caddo Parish. My family lives here. We intend to stay here and make the best of what we've got here. I was a former court-appointed special advocate for juvenile justice. I was a deputy constable for many years. I was then elected to 2 6-year terms as the elected constable, and I'm currently now a chief deputy constable in Ward 7 in Caddo Parish. One, I'm a lifelong resident of Caddo Parish, so I'm familiar with many of the residents, I'm familiar with the way Caddo Parish works as a whole. Second, as a court-appointed special advocate for juvenile justice, I worked in the juvenile court system with youth and handled matters as far as youth. I have a medical background. I also worked I've spent almost 18 years in law enforcement in all in Caddo Parish. Violent crime, in my opinion, and I think that's probably the opinion of most, is the most pressing issue in Caddo Parish as it affects the lives of every single citizen. In order to address this issue, it's going to take a multitude of actions and different people and different agencies. So I'd work together with Shreveport Police Department. We would actually put Caddo Parish Sheriff deputies within the inner city, Moortown, Allendale, Cedar Grove, Lakeside, all these neighborhoods that are more prevalent to violent crime, and we'll have officers working together, different uniforms, different cars, but all for the same mission in trying to deter violent crime prior to someone getting killed. I would seek the assistance from any and all mental health professionals within our area to address these issues and meet with maybe create a board of 5 or 6 individuals who are well-versed in professionals in mental health issues and have them help us formulating a plan to address this matter correctly. I don't believe that building more facilities, larger facilities, greater facilities to house more inmates is the issue. That just creates a need for more deputies and more tax dollars to be spent. I think we should work with what we have and do the best we can to work as a team, being all the citizens of Caddo Parish that care about Caddo Parish, and trying to reduce recidivism by using work release in a much better, more feasible manner, and working with people that are currently incarcerated that may have a trade, a carpenter, a roofer, a mechanic, a person that does sheetrock. And when they're in there, these other individuals that are incarcerated that are sitting there have done nothing but sell drugs because they're young, have these individuals that are in there maybe reduce their time if they're willing to mentor other individuals, teach them a trade and a skill set, so when they do get out, they can perform and act in a manner sufficient to become a normal citizen that's productive in society and no longer someone that's going to continue going back and forth to jail. So answering that question almost in reverse order, I do believe that there is a need for joint efforts between the Caddo Parish Sheriff's Office and the City of Shreveport Police Department, Greenwood Police Department, Morningsport, Ida, Odessa, Vivian. All these individual agencies need to meet together maybe once a month and work together in devising a plan to address these issues, because these youth that are acting as criminals and conducting criminal activity, as they grow into their 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, they become adult criminals. So it's better to address it while they're youth, to prevent it from being a bigger problem later. So this, I don't necessarily believe is the solely the sheriff's issue or the sheriff's responsibility. It's up to the judicial system, the juvenile court, the juvenile court judges, everyone that works in the juvenile court system outside of the sheriff's office. It will have to be a joint effort, and that's something that will definitely be something that I would visit and address if elected as your new sheriff. This is a good question. As the sheriff in my lifetime, I've yet to see a sheriff's department work well or get along with the district attorney's office. And this is not a fault of the sheriff or fault of the district attorney. It just seems as though they're always at odds. However, it is good that they agree to disagree, because we can't, without a little bit of adversity, we can't reach, and resolve these issues. So the sheriff can only enforce the law. The sheriff has no role in actually prosecuting or any form of prosecution. So that's up to the district attorney's office to do so. And if the district attorney's office continues to cut plea deals and drag cases out, there are cases out there that are drug cases that may have been going on 5 or 6 years for one individual that might have had a possession charge. And so our judicial system is broken. It's not just here, it's all over the state, but our judicial system is broken, and it's definitely not an issue or not the fault of the sheriff. The sheriff simply handles the law enforcement end, enforces the law, but has nothing to do with the actual punishment or correction. One, I don't believe that we need to build bigger, larger, or more vast facilities. I think that that any millage that occurs, any of the tax dollars that come in, need to go to officer and deputy pay raises. I think if you want to boost the morale, then you make it to where these deputies, when they're at work, they're not worried about paying bills at home. They're not worried about putting their kids in school or paying for health care or their cars broke down or sharing a vehicle. These deputies need to feel comfortable and confident that while they're at work, their family's safe and not in need. As a law enforcement officer, that question is out of my realm of expertise. So what I would do is I would seek wise counsel when it comes to something like that, and to seek someone that's far more well versed in tax issues. The only other issues that I would address would be something that we've already spoken about a little, is just the violent crime issue, and the fact that that it's on the news, that people wake up every morning, whether it's 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, simply to check their phone to see who was shot and who was killed. I think that one thing we can do to not eliminate that, but make a little bit of a difference and go a different direction, is to stop giving notoriety to these individuals. So these individuals that go out and shoot someone tonight, say they've been playing video games or Fortnite or all these games where they actually believe that they're acting as a human when they're shooting these people in these video games, and in the evenings they go out and they shoot one another, and they don't see what comes after this. They don't really understand it. So if we would just use them, give them a number and not a name. So if you make, a lot of times when they go to jail, a lot of these guys want to go to jail. They get 3 hots in a cot, but when they get there, they shouldn't be famous. So I think we should eliminate the notoriety. Give them a pseudonym or give them a number, but don't let the world know that they're famous for killing someone. It shouldn't be something that you should be famous for.